Hey, what's up? So today's my day off, and I said to myself, go and sit in front of the market and see what's going on. I sat down and I said, what do I do when I sit down? I looked at a screener, not this. I looked at some screener that I had up and I was like, what am I looking for? I just see like a bunch of zeros, So I was like, okay, I'm not going to look at that right now. I looked at this and I was like, cool, the SPY just broke out to new highs. I remember when it was in the 290s. And I was like, let me just look at my top percent gainers. I don't see any super low floats. So I just kind of went with this one, ENG. And ENG was like spiking pre-market, and I guess it touched down at this level. So I saw that it had this like, I don't know, sandbar. It's like in my ocean example, like this was the bottom of something. And it bounced off of that and it started going higher, and I was like, and my initial reaction was like, it's going to the moon. So I couldn't get this to work. There's no account associated with, for whatever reason, sometimes stocks to trade like doesn't sync your paper trade account. So it wasn't working. So I was like, let me use arrows for green and red of entry and exit. So I was like, okay, I'm entering here. Or was it here? I thought it was here. Yeah. Well, whatever. In this line, um, and I was like, it's going to the moon. And then it pulled back. Yeah, maybe it was here. I can't remember. So it pulled back, and I was like, this is my risk level, okay? Like 120. I was like risking 10 cents. But then something recently that I said to myself is my entry point is my risk level. So once it broke my entry point, because obviously in the future of when I get back into trading, I'm trying to practice good habits of risk management. So the best way that I can think of risk management for myself is to exit as soon as it dips below my initial entry point, regardless of wherever else I see, like risk levels. Because what happened to me on PSTV is this was my risk level and it freaking shot down $8. So I'm not doing that again. So I'm practicing better risk management. So this was like what, 3 cents or who knows, like 30, okay, 10 cents, okay, or 7 cents. And I was like thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I think this is just a short because I've seen stuff like this is like the max point of if it's a long, it will rip past pre-market high. But I know that a lot of short sellers, they take this pre-market high as their stop out point, and they will enter or risk off of the next lower high. And you know, like they see like, oh, where did it top out? Okay, like I'll enter here, risking off of here, eventually risking off of here. Something like that is what short sellers do. And this one is like, in the motion of it is like this way. I guess it looks like a Z, Z. And then it just breaks this initial bottom level that it's set. And then it goes boop. It always bumps its head right back on the level, dips down, boop, bumped it again. So now it's double topping or whatever it's called, double bumping, double bumping. And then it's just going to continue to go down, right? That's my analysis. Now look at the daily chart. By the way, my apartment has no heat. um, Daily chart looks attractive though, or at least it did a minute ago. Well, I think it was on the 3-year chart where I was like, and it was a lot higher. So I saw this level. This was in the 140s. This is like considered like the breakout of like multiple time frames, right? Look, 2017, 2018, and it all kind of bumps up at this level. So I guess you could say there's a lot of resistance in the 148s. And the last time it had significant volume, which was, it looks like 2 million, it got to like 146, couldn't break past it. And now the volume is like 9 million. I guess it's not enough, and over here was like 1 million. So I don't know exactly, because it seems like half of the volume of the float, but it just couldn't push past all this resistance. So if I look back over here, this was that same kind of level, 148, where it was topping before. So maybe short sellers were like, okay, we're just gonna hammer in at that level where there's previous years worth of resistance. Um, so that's me making my case for, that's my dog. Whether it's he doesn't like being bothered in his sleep. I was like moving him a little because he's next to me. Um, so it, like, it bumped its head on previous resistance, and then I guess short sellers are like, okay, cool, that's probably where it's gonna fail. And then I think, like, just because it's a top percent gainer, maybe, and new, like, maybe retail regular people are like, cool, this is spiking, like me a year ago or me 5 minutes ago were like, cool, this is spiking, I'll enter, and then it just slams in your face type of thing. But I'm pretty sure from what I've seen that longs break the pre-market high. And I've said this to myself before, but when it kind of conks out and just trends down or trends back to this line, I've seen it not do this before, where it kind of does that scuba diver thing and then slams up. I think it was RKDA where I saw that on. It's on my Profitly page. Um, but I actually, like, it dipped a little bit below and then I exited and then it just ramped back up. But I think that was a very low float. This one has 24 million. So also I don't really know AKs yet still. Oh, my trading account came back. Um, so what's my psychology? So I was listening, as I was watching this, I was listening on YouTube to the Steady Trade podcast episode of the Brett Steenbarger book, Daily Trading Coach, Psychology of Daily Trading Coach. I don't know what it's called, but it's on there. And I like that book. And when Steenbarger talks about, like, well, if you're not really getting it in the first year, this probably isn't for you. Like, stuff like that scares me, because I think I'm going into my end of third year, fourth year, I think, by the summer. So, and I still feel like a failure, but I saw this one, like, YouTube clip, and it was like 40 things that all good traders do, and it was, or something like, or all good traders realize, and it was like, um, you know, I forgot what it was, but it was something about you're not going to win all the time. So I'm trying to get comfortable with losses and not blame myself by the new thing of, like, well, if my entry point is wrong, then I'm just going to get out and then just call it a day. You know what I'm saying? That's my new plan. Um, but it's probably, I feel like it's probably going to take like a year for me to develop enough funds to be able to get back into the market. And it's so sad because I'm really excited that there are no more commissions. And I wanted to try the OTC Swizzle or OT Swizzle that Dom came up with, but I really don't know how he sits down and picks stuff, so I have to research that more, because it's lower price stuff. And I think I should really just say no to higher price stuff in terms of like $11 stocks or whatever. So I had a day off. I sat down for a while. I came up with one little plan. It didn't work out, but it taught me a lesson that I'm probably looking at a short, you know, um, which I'm still really far away from doing. But the point is that I'm here. I gave it my little shot, and that's all I can do. And what else? I've been really obsessed with TikTok, and I'm trying to figure out how to monetize TikTok by getting all those viewers to go to my shoe pages and order shoes, which is like my part-time hobby. So that's what I'm doing in the meantime. And I like working in retail, because I like customer service. And hopefully one day I can have some type of a business, and hopefully one day within that business I can take like 2 hours out of the day from like 9:30 to 10:30 and from 3 to 4 and take a look at the market in my manager office. But for right now, this is all I have. So Thanks for watching. I have not left the building, and let me know what you think. Okay? Thank you and good night, even though it's good morning.